when you start taking accountability, your world kind of crumbles.
Yeah. Yeah, your narratives fall apart, man. And the problem is all of them fall apart. What you said is that one of your family members came to you and told you that you were a miserable person to be around, and you still thank that person. Can you go into that specifically?
Yes, I won't name this person, but my family member, he came to me and it was around Christmas time and we were all together and he was like, "Rebecca, honestly, like I can't handle your bullshit anymore." Because I would just talk out of my ass basically. And I would try to one up everyone and I was always competing for the attention in the room and he's like, "I just can't deal with you. You're a miserable person to be around. You're not enjoyable. No one wants to engage with you. You try to one up everyone in the conversation. It's not a competition." I was like, "Dang." Like, it hurt a lot, and at the time, I was screaming at him. I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm not like that, blah, blah," and then everyone around, like, on the back of it, were like, "Yes, you are. Yes, we can't say it to you," because if people say that you're a combative person, if people say that you are just not a nice person, my reaction at the time was, like, "You don't know what you're talking about, like, you're" I would go off, okay? And so he had enough courage to say that to me, and I thank him every single day because that's when, like, the scales started falling from my eyes. It's not everyone else's fault why I can't raise money. I play a role in it, and that's when I started reading, Jordan Peterson, 12 Rules for Life. I was like, "Okay, like, what is this about? This seems cool." And I was trying to get some self-help books and I stumbled onto that one. I was like, "Okay, I can do this, right? I can clean my room. I can try not to lie. I can do all these things." That's when I started looking at my life, taking accountability and being like, "Okay, I'm not a victim here." Like, I'm playing a victim. I'm really good at it. I'm really good at blaming everyone else for my problems, but I put myself in these situations, right? Not like no one held a gun to my head and said, "You need to do this and you need to do that." I put myself in these situations and I put myself in these circles and I put myself around people that were very toxic and were draining my energy. And I was the one drinking and I was the one, doing all this harm to my body. And when you start taking accountability, your world kind of crumbles.
Yeah. Yeah, your narratives fall apart, man. And the problem is all of them fall apart.
I could have doubled down. I could have easily doubled down and said, "It's not my fault." He's talking out of his and but when you get confirmation from other people that say, actually, you're a terrible person. It really opens your eyes and at that time too, I stopped drinking. I stopped going out with these people. I remember having a breakup from my best friend at the time. And I was like, "I'm so sorry. I can't do this anymore. You are literally taking all of the energy." And these people are leeches. They will take everything good from you and strip you of everything because misery loves company. And it goes on both sides, just like you said, like the far, far right, the far, far left, all of these people. When you're so bought in, if you don't keep pressing in and doubling down on the narrative, right, your whole world crumbles. Everyone else will dump you. Everyone else will just, start calling you crazy. So when I started stepping away from these people, I was being talked about. I was like, "Oh, she's going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs now." Like, she's talking about all of this other stuff.
She wants. That's funny. Yeah. Wait, when you left the feminists or when you joined the feminists?
But my family was saying she's going cuckoo for Cocoa
when you
Puffs
became a feminist.
when became a feminist, and then my friends, when I was leaving feminism, were like, "Yeah, she's going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs."
She wants to have a baby in it. She's so crazy.
And I was the one that literally, I remember telling people, "I do not want kids. I do not want marriage. I don't want any of these things." but it was a lie. It was a lie that I told myself so that I could here's the it was a lie that I told myself so that I wouldn't be disappointed in the idea that I possibly couldn't get that.
So you
Does
made a
that make
video. You
sense?
made a great video about this. Women saying they don't want to be mothers, and you believe that it is a
Yes.
certain amount of propaganda that gets them to say these things.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely, because when the narrative becomes, "Oh yeah, like you don't need kids. Oh, you don't need a man. You kids are jail and all this other stuff. Like look at what happens to your body." Of course. That sounds terrible. You know what I mean? That sounds like a jail sentence. But now being a mom, I like I'm so I know that my purpose in life was to be a mom, and I hope that I can have more children, right? But if I never had that experience, if I never got that opportunity to be a mom, I don't know what like where I would be. You know what I mean? Because I bought into that lie so hard, and then when I met my husband, it was like, okay, all of that was dismantling. I wanna have his babies. I wanna get married to this man. I want everything that I said that I swore I never wanted, and all my friends are looking at me like, "Is she okay? Is she having an aneurysm?" Because this girl I told people that I wanted to name my first kid Sphincter because I didn't like children that much. I was like,
Wow.
I'm gonna name them. And I know like people are gonna talk and the comment section is probably gonna be crazy. But it's true. Like I told people so much that I didn't want children. My mom is watching my baby right now. She cried the day that I got married. She cried the day that, she found out that I was pregnant. She's like, I never thought this would be for you. I prayed about it. I just never thought because you said and you were very convincing that you didn't want these things. And I'm so happy that, yeah, you can call it the universe, God, whatever, that my life changed and that I woke up and that I got my, senses back and I'm just a happier person now. It's crazy how I look at photos of myself in New York and I look at photos of myself now. I'm two different people. I was blue hair, pink hair, purple hair, short hair, bald head, all that stuff. I remember faking the smile. I can remember seeing in those photos, wow, like I remember I was really, really drunk that day. Or I was not all there in that photo or at that time. And now it's like I'm clear minded. I can't even begin to express how happy I am. Like my entire purpose in life is this. I love being a mom. I love being a wife. I love speaking to women. I love doing what I do here. And I get the flexibility to do that. Like I don't have to bust my brain every day. I don't have to prove to anyone that I'm the best of the best, that I'm going to be Forbes 30 under 30, that I'm going to raise billions of dollars in capital. That was what I desired at the time. Now it's like I make content to help women and I get DMs from women all the time. Rebecca, thank you so much for making that video. I related to it so much. I get so many people saying to me like I'm showing this to my daughter. I sent this to my wife. Hopefully the message comes across.
It is possible. There are certain women who just don't want to have kids, legitimately of their own volition
Correct.
came to that decision.
Yes.
The problem is the idea that it's very similar to when I hear vegans tell me that humans used to not eat meat. It's like, no, no, no. What you're saying doesn't make sense because my body needs vitamin B12 and I have incisors, 2 eyes on the front of my head because I'm a fucking predator. That's the reason why I eat meat. I know that I used to eat meat regardless of how much you don't like this idea. The idea that that women don't don't want to have babies. Well, how would our species exist? There are 400,000 elephants on the planet and 8 billion human beings. Obviously women in general would on balance would want to have kids. Doesn't mean that some women don't, but on balance women would not want to have kids. So for somebody telling you that women shouldn't be having kids or should make the decision to not do so or to ignore the idea that your eggs slowly lower over time, I believe over the age of 40, you have like less than 10% of your total egg production
Correct.
at that point, and the likelihood of you carrying a child to term becomes less and less as the years go on. Those things, when you express those things to them, they become very offended, and then they don't like this idea.